In this tutorial, we're going to cover how to enter, new, or edit an existing vendor/manufacturer. And to do that, you come into the main form and click on this button, Vendors and Manufacturers. And that opens up this form here. Now, just to clarify, the difference between a vendor and a manufacturer is a vendor is a company you're going to buy your products from. And that in turn will determine what discounts to load for that whatever you're doing, an estimate, sales order, whatever, for those products. And when you select the manufacturer, that will determine what products get loaded that you can select from. So a manufacturer, of course, is a company that actually makes the products. Now, if you buy direct from a manufacturer, for example, let's say you buy direct from Schlage. Schlage would be the vendor and the manufacturer. And one thing you want to make sure you do is come into this form. If you do buy direct, check this box right here so that Portal Pro will know that if you select Schlage as the vendor, it will automatically load Schlage as a manufacturer for you, so you don't have to enter them twice. Of course, if you buy from a company like Akron Hardware, Top Notch, or one of those, they're strictly vendors because they don't manufacture anything. They just sell actually many manufacturers' products. So you would select Akron or Top Notch as a vendor, and then you would select, and that would load your discounts, and then you would select the manufacturer that they sell to determine what products it is you want to choose from. Okay, so here we get back into this form. There's a drop down at the very top here, existing vendor manufacturer. This is where you're going to select a vendor or manufacturer that you want to edit. And you can click the drop down here, and you see everything's in alphabetical order. And it's a list of all the manufacturers that are currently in the system. So when you first get Portal Pro, it will be preloaded with all the major manufacturers. Now you can either, again, hit the drop down and use your mouse and scroll down and select the one you're looking for, or you can just come up here and start typing. You can see as I type the letter T, it brings up every company that starts with T. And the more I type, like the letter E, it filters the list even more. So again, once I see the one I'm looking for, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard and just arrow down to the manufacturer vendor that I'm looking for, and then just hit the enter key on my keyboard and that will load them. Or I can use my mouse and just hover over it, highlight it, and select it, and that will then load it. Now every vendor and manufacturer will have at least 2 discounts automatically loaded or saved when you let's say if you enter a new one, they'll automatically get 2 discounts. Now this particular manufacturer has 3, but the 2 they will get automatically is number 1, net, and of course net means there is no discount, so the list price is what your cost will be, and then special. Now special, you don't assign any products with the special discount. Special is only used when you're in a sales order or an estimate and you've got special pricing on a certain project. So you want to make sure when you're adding new products, in fact, I don't think the system will let you, if you try to select special, it will not let you use that because you don't want to save your products in your database with a special discount that's only good for one time, actually, for that one project. So you always save products with a standard discount. And you can see this manufacturer does have a standard discount of 50%. So these are the discounts that would be assigned to any products that are entered for TEL manufacturing. All right, so now to enter a, let's say a new manufacturer, I'll just go ahead and clear the form. I will leave this field set to new up here. Then I'll come down here to the vendor and manufacturer and just I'll start filling in Let's just call it test manufacturer. I'll just start filling in the name. Now, once I put in a vendor name here, once I tab out of that, if I hit the tab key on my keyboard or I click somewhere else, you can see it automatically loads the same company name and the same name on a check. If these need to be different, go ahead and edit them now. If you want the company name to be different for whatever reason, or this is kind of how QuickBooks is set up, so you have the same options. Otherwise, just leave them the same if that's what it's going to be. Now, an abbreviation is just an abbreviation of 2 to 4 letters that will be used for that manufacturer. And those abbreviations are only used on hardware schedules. So other than that, so I could type, let's say, TES. And that would be the abbreviation that's going to be used for that manufacturer. And of course, I just come down, I start filling in all the other information. If you have an account number, go ahead and put it in. That way it'll show up on your purchase orders. If you have, go ahead and enter your terms, whatever they might be for that vendor. And the vendor type is whether or not they're a manufacturer, a wholesaler like Top Akron or Top Notch, or whatever they are. If you're entering another new tax ID or whatever you're entering as the vendor. And of course, here I explained earlier, if you buy direct from this company, check this box. And that way it'll automatically load that company as a manufacturer when you select them as a vendor. And this box here, if they pay the freight, I believe there are times when Akron may pay freight on products or to certain companies. So if that's so, you can check that box. And this is only for the average freight in that's calculated on your estimates and sales orders to bring a product into your place of business. It has nothing to do with freight going out to your customers. So keep that in mind. Also, if it's maybe, let's say it's a company that's in your local area that you go over and pick it up all the time. So there would never be any freight. So you check that box, and that way it will not calculate that freight as a part of the cost on your products. The rest of the information here, you have the web. If you have a name that there's on the door and hardware schedule, you can actually email quote requests. So go ahead and you can put a name in here, or for vendor quotes either. And of course over here is discounts that you can either edit. Again, well, we have none here. So if I save this test manufacturer, since this is a new manufacturer, new vendor, once I save them down here, it will automatically create net and special in this drop down. So that's done automatically for you. And if there are any other discounts that might be necessary, then I can add them here and go ahead and create them. Now right here you would give that discount a name if you're creating a new one. Just leave that checked as active. You can set discounts as inactive if you don't want them showing up in the drop down anymore. And the same over here for a vendor or manufacturer. If there's one that you don't want showing up, that you don't want your sales staff selecting, make them inactive. And that way they will not be able to select them as a manufacturer or vendor. Now here's where you would get the important number is this multiplier. So let's say I'm going to create a new discount for this manufacturer. I'm just going to call it standard. And let's see, my standard discount is, that might be 45%. So the multiplier is the important number. If I know what that is, I can go ahead and enter 0.45. Otherwise, if they give me something like, well, they'll give me, let's say 50 and 10 as my standard discount. In that case, I would type in here 50, separated with a space only, no commas or anything, 10. Now when I click out of this box, you can see it automatically generates my discount for me. So whatever it is, it could be 50, 10, and 5. You see it'll automatically generate that multiplier. So this is the important number here, not this one up here, because this is the one that we'll use when calculating your costs on a product. And this will be a month and year. So whatever month and year it is, you would fill these two fields in here, and it would actually make that as part of the discount name. That way you know when that discount was created. So 6 months or a year from now, when you might have to update the discount, you can preserve this discount that was created today, and a year from now you could create another one with the same name but with a new month and year, and that way that will become the now active discount. So that way you have the old discount still in the system if it's ever needed for any reason. Okay, just two more things here. I can show active only by checking this box, which it is checked. That means it's only going to show active vendors and manufacturers. Or if I select this box, or this radio button, now it shows any vendors and manufacturers that have been marked inactive, that are no longer showing up in the drop down, but they're still in the system for whatever reason. But typically you're always going to leave this on show active only. Of course, down here you have a clear button where you can clear all these fields. This clear button clears these fields. Save discount is only for creating a new discount here, or if you need to delete a discount, you can delete it here. Now there is another place where you can go to edit discounts, and we'll just show you real quick. We're not going to cover it in this tutorial, but it's there right here, manage discounts and markups. This is pretty much the same thing, but on a little more detailed type form. Here you can select the whatever the vendor. You can create new discounts. You can edit an existing discount. And once you create a new discount, over here you can actually update all the products in your database to that new discount. So, and over here is where you manage, this is standard markups, which we'll cover in another tutorial. So that is your other option for discounts. But when creating a new one, you can go ahead and use this form to, since you're already here, it lets you create that whatever discount you need for that new vendor or manufacturer. Or you can even edit an existing one. All right, that should pretty well cover it for vendors and manufacturers. If you have any questions or concerns on this, please call our office. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Thanks.